How's it going, fellow veterans? Brian Reese here, founder of VA Claims Insider, Air Force Service Disabled Veteran, and I'm coming at you live from Austin, Texas. And today I am answering the question, do I need a Nexus letter? The short answer is no, you don't need a Nexus letter, and a Nexus letter is never required. Okay, now getting a Nexus letter also doesn't guarantee service connection, which I'm going to talk about. Now, there are some specific instances where you might want to get a Nexus letter from a private healthcare provider to help you prove service connection. Okay, so let's talk about some of the ins and outs. Now, what the heck is a Nexus letter, Brian? I've never heard this before. What is it? Should I get one? How do I know? Etc. All right, we're going to be covering all of that and more. A Nexus letter is nothing more than a document. Okay, it's a letter that's prepared by a private medical professional that helps to establish that link or connection between a current disability that you have and your active duty military service. Now, you can also get a Nexus letter for secondary service connection to prove that a disability was caused or made worse by another disability that you're already service connected for, or perhaps it was aggravated, okay, made worse by the other disability condition. Okay, so a Nexus letter is critical for secondary service connection, which I'll talk about. Okay, now the other thing you need to know is that not all Nexus letters are created equally. Okay, our team has seen some horrendous Nexus letters that veterans have paid thousands and thousands of dollars for. That makes me angry, okay? But I've seen it, and they're out there. The other thing I've seen is people posting false and fake information that you can get free Nexus letters. That's not true. I'm not aware of any doctor who offers free Nexus letters, okay? If I'm wrong about that, please let me know, but I'm not aware of a single one. The other thing you need to know is that I've seen some content out there of people saying that VA doctors or your VA providers can write a Nexus letter. They're actually prohibited by regulation, okay? The reason that the VA doctor can't write a Nexus letter, or at least they'll tell you that they can't, is because they're not independent. They're dependent on the VA system. Okay, so they wouldn't be writing you a Nexus letter with an independent medical opinion. Okay, their opinion would not be independent. That's the reason why you go hire a private healthcare provider. Okay, the other reason is they may tell you something like it's a conflict of interest for me to do that. That's actually not true. Here's the gist though. They don't want to because they're too busy. And they don't want to be known as the provider who's providing free Nexus letters from the VA to veterans, because guess what's going to happen? Every veteran is going to go to that provider and they're going to be bogged down with paperwork. Okay. So I'm not aware of any VA doctors, by the way, who write Nexus letters. Again, I'm willing to be wrong on that. Feel free to post in the chat if you know of some providers who do that. But again, VA doctors are not going to write a Nexus letter for you. And I'm not aware of anyone who offers completely free Nexus letters. But the other thing you need to realize is that not all Nexus letters are the same. And what that means is that they're not all offered equal weight by the VA rater. Some have what's called more probative value than others. Okay, probative value is simply a legal term that means something is more likely, okay, to provide credibility or likelihood to a certain thing at issue. Okay, so basically what it means is this letter is more credible than the other one. That's what probative value means. Now, should you get a Nexus letter? Do I need one, Brian? Well, again, you don't ever need one. It's not required. But here are some situations where you may want to consider getting a Nexus letter. Okay, there are three things, so stay with me. Here's the litmus test. Number one, if your disability was diagnosed while you served in the military and it's in your military medical records, which are called your service treatment records, You probably don't need a Nexus letter so long as you have continued care for that condition since you've been out. Okay, now why is that? Well, you have medical evidence that that condition existed in service. So you probably don't need a Nexus letter. Okay, that's number one. Number two, if your disability was not diagnosed in the military, or if there are no documented symptoms in your military medical records, you probably do need a Nexus letter. Why? Because you don't have any medical evidence that the disability existed during service. Remember, the purpose of the Nexus letter is to connect your current disability to your military service. Okay, that's number two. The third reason, if you're attempting to connect, service connect, a previously denied VA disability, okay, or if you're trying to prove secondary service connection, a Nexus letter is highly, highly, highly recommended. Why? Because you need a powerful argument to overcome that previous claim denial. And if you filed for secondary service connection, the third pillar under the law for secondary service connection is something called medical nexus evidence. You get medical nexus evidence through a Nexus letter. Okay, you need that Nexus letter to say something like, this new disability is proximately due to or aggravated by another service-connected disability. Now, how the heck do I get my Nexus letter to have this thing called probative value, Brian? Well, here's how you get a Nexus letter to have probative value. It should be thorough. It should be factual. It should be evidence-based. It should be convincing. And it should have a logical conclusion backed up by more than just the doctor's opinion. So perhaps they've cited relevant medical research in the Nexus letter, or perhaps they've cited BVA decisions, Board of Veterans Appeals decisions, to help support the doctor's independent medical opinion. Now, the best Nexus letters contain a Nexus statement in the conclusion that contain the words at least as likely as not. Okay. That means 50% or greater. Okay. At least as likely or not, 50-50. What that statement means is that the independent provider believes that the condition was likely caused by it. Okay. Your military service, or for secondary service connection by the other service connected disability that you filed for. Okay, what does the VA rater consider to have probative value? Well, here's what the VA rater is supposed to look at. Do they always do this? No. The VA rater determines probative value by the physician's qualifications, by their knowledge of your relevant history, the context of how the evidence was created, the reasoning and rationale, as well as the degree of specificity and degree of certainty. Again, these are all key elements of a Nexus letter. Now, if you need a Nexus letter, we can help you. And oh, by the way, if you are a VA Claims Insider Elite member, you can get private Nexus letters from our preferred provider network at a discount. You can get Nexus letters for 61 to 67% off if you're a VA Claims Insider Elite member. Okay. Again, proud to help you. What did we talk about? Do you need a Nexus letter? No, you don't ever need a Nexus letter. But I shared 3 situations of when you may want to get one. Okay. Now, if you need some help with your VA disability claim, if you are stuck, if you're frustrated, if you're underrated, if you're tired of fighting the VA alone, we can help. We exist for you and because of you. Okay, I'm so proud of our team. I'm just going to share this for a second. I'm sharing this because I'm so proud of the folks we have that are fighting for veterans every single day. We have over 4,000 5-star reviews. 92% of VA Claims Insider reviews are 4 and 5 star, gang. I couldn't do that without my awesome team. So proud of our team. It's unbelievable. Now, if you want to book a free call, if you'd like to talk to somebody, there's no obligation. It's completely free. Okay. You can book a free call right here, right now to speak to an expert. If you look across the bottom of the screen right now, you're going to see the details of how you book your free call. Okay. Pick the best date and time that works for your busy schedule. Okay. Also, we've got a ton of amazing free content on our website at vaclaimsinsider.com. All right. You can also go to vaclaimsinsider.com/blog. Do you know that over 600,000 military members and veterans consume our content every single month? And we don't take that lightly, gang. It's an honor and a privilege to serve you. And we are going to keep producing the best content around, period. Okay. Awesome. Fellow vets, thank you for your service. Thank you for your sacrifices to our country. May God bless you and your family, and we'll talk to you really, really soon.